hello again, and welcome to Roland's Reviews. Guys and subscribers, everyone who's stopping by the channel, I do not know what else to say, but thank you, thank you, thank you. Just so you know, I am quickly developing carpal tunnel syndrome, trying to respond to each and every last one of your comments. Now, the reason I am still talking about the issue with the illegal immigration is because it just won't go away. How you doing, Lady Libra, Gina, Lola, everyone from the Jobu Sports Report? So, guys, I don't make this stuff up. I think I told you guys I do a lot of reading, and the more I read, maybe I should stop reading. The more I read, the more discouraged that I become, ladies. Tell me what you think in the comment section. How you doing? Okay, there you go. So how you doing, Pat? So, folks, tell me what you think in the comment section. Again, we always have a wonderful conversation here. If you like this content, folks, please go ahead and hit that little that like button. If you have various forms of social media, share this video out. I love the comments. You guys can go back and look at my videos from the past 2 to 3 weeks. Again, I've been up day and night. I think it's very important if someone takes the time to respond or make a comment up under one of my videos. It's only common courtesy that I respond. And so I may not, get it that first day, but I do get it. Okay. So I was stunned, and at my age, nothing should shock me anymore. But if you look at the title of my video, entitled, in other words, some people are using the word uppity, illegal immigrants. So I'm not calling them migrants anymore. So one of my subscribers left a comment saying, "Don't call them migrants," and I thought about that, and I'm like, well, the correct term is illegal. So I'll make sure I preface everything with illegal immigrants. They refuse to leave. Now, guys, we talked about these sanctuary cities and everything that is the sanctuary cities, all the negativity that's going on in these sanctuary cities. How you doing, Rhonda and Lola? And so, they were put up. And I think, who was it? Gina made a statement earlier. They were allowed to live, okay, in 3, 4, 5-star hotels. News flash. I was born here. Most of you were born here. I've never received a free stay at a 3, 4, or 5-star hotel. Tell me what is wrong with this picture. So, again, we all know, those of you who are still working, some of you may be retired. I pay over $14,000 a year in federal and state taxes. So anything where tax money is involved, I'm usually that usually raises my dander a bit. And so let's see, what are the statements? Gina said that part. Yeah, that part. So again, the migrant crisis. We talked about New York. We talked about Chicago. And before I get started today, I am planning on possibly taking a trip to one of the cities, one of the sanctuary cities, and live streaming from there so you can see it firsthand. Now, those of you know Chef Finest Wine. If you're not subscribed to his channel, please go ahead and do so. He lives in Chicago. So he's coming on the show, and he's going to take pictures and videos, and he's going to come on and explain how bad it is there in Chicago. Rhonda says, Lady Libra says, and it won't happen, Rollins. Right, Lady Libra. Rhonda says, I remember being homeless and was granted some great gifts. Trust me, I didn't celebrate because my heart was in pain. I was so down that gifts helped. Oh, good, Rhonda. And like I said, I've been taught since day one, take care of home first. It's okay to help people. Very good. How you doing, JoJo? Hello, good afternoon to you. So the migrant crisis in New York, and like I said, I don't know if any of you are familiar with this particular incident. Let me know. So several thousand arrived on buses. So they were forced to leave the 3, 4, and 5-star, how you doing, Pat, hotels. And when they arrived at their destination, they were not happy campers. They were very upset. Millions of dollars, folks. And if you, once I end this video, you can go up under the description box. You know, I always share additional videos, so you know I'm not sitting here pulling this out of my ear. Once they arrived at the, it was a massive shelter where taxpayers' money was spent to build a Floyd Bennett field. You can Google this, you can look this up yourself. Many got off the bus with their children and their bags. They returned to the buses. They said, no, 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 not staying here. No one told us we were coming here. Rhonda says state and cities have real estate set aside for these causes. For example, apartments, hotels, unoccupied schools, gym building. They don't make it public, but it's true. I used to work for the government. Good point, Rhonda. Okay. And so many refused to stay. Many returned to the buses. Some said the shelter is too far from the schools where their children were attending schools in Manhattan. Guys, I think I told you, I used to live in New York years ago. Very, very expensive to live in Manhattan. So we know ultimately what the problem is. Well, I mean, but what do you expect? You put someone up in 3, 4, and 5-star hotels, they're not going to want to go live in a shelter, a camp, a tent city. No, that's not what they're going to want to do. Some were saying the shelter was too far. Some said they could not stay. They said that the conditions were deplorable and horrible, and they were not staying there. How you doing, Janice? And so again, millions of taxpayer dollars have been spent on this Floyd Bennett field and everything. How you doing, Jill's Comfort Zone? Everything I'm telling you guys, you can Google it. And so again, I don't mind people being helped, but all I'm saying is help veterans. There are plenty of homeless veterans, plenty of homeless Americans, plenty to go around. And so they rolled out the red carpet in some of these sanctuary cities, rolled it out. And now they're not being there. Some of these people aren't even appreciative. They got off, a lot of them. And if you check, I shared a video. They got off and they said, no, no, no. They turned around. They got back on the bus. They were shipped to the train station. Who's paying for all these tickets? So the buses aren't free. So when people say things are free, someone's paying for it, folks. We know who's paying for it, the taxpayers. And so they were saying that it was unbearable. And now at the 3, 4, and 5-star hotels, thank you, Gina, they were receiving what? Free food, free housing, free health care. Newsflash. Hey, they didn't want to leave that. Who in their right mind would? So again, and I think I told you guys, the military is very close to my heart. All right. My dad was military. The school that I teach at, primarily my clientele is, military students from Pope Air Force Base, and formerly Fort Bragg is now called Fort Liberty. So I'm, anything military I support. And people, and the governor of Texas, I remember when this first started happening. How you doing, Terry? When he started shipping those buses, I actually watched a lot of videos, and people who live there in Texas were talking about a lot of the problems they were experiencing. Jermaine, how are you? And they were like, I remember when the governor of Texas started shipping people to the sanctuary cities, people were like, oh, that's horrible. But again, you need to check out some of the videos and some of the lawlessness for some of these people. Now, again, a lot of these people, we don't know who they are. We don't know their backgrounds. If you watch a prior video, I told you, Venezuela unlocked their prisons and said, just run for the U.S. border. And I feel bad for people in cities where you're not able to protect yourself, particularly New York City has some of the most stringent gun control laws. Well, the criminals still have the guns. I live in the South, and down here, everyone's locked and loaded, including myself. So that's just, where we are with that. So anyway, some illegal immigrants are saying that they want to return to Venezuela. Again, some are returning. We know who's paying for that. Again, the taxpayers are footing the bill for all of this, and it's just causing nothing but problems. And for those of saying that they wanted to go back to Manhattan, they were the ones refusing to, which most of them were refusing to stay at the Floyd Bennett Field. They said, well, again, they wanted their children to remain. So their children are in the educational system again. So you have to bring in more resources because most of them do not speak English, right? That could be an issue. How you doing, natural Africanism, and James Wayne? So again, folks, look at, and New York is always typically been very, very liberal. Thank you, Gina. And like I said, folks, I'm just giving you facts. I'm not here to tell you to vote one way or another. I'm just giving you facts of what's happening. Um, and as a taxpayer, um, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot to ask from anyone. And so think about that. And so again, who loses in all this? The American taxpayer. And just for the record, to live in Manhattan, that's why I know I'll never live in New York again. You're gonna pay 6 to 8 thousand, and I don't mean you're gonna be in a mansion either. That's for the bare minimum to live in Manhattan. I love New York. I will never live in New York again. Uh, but to come here, particularly if you don't know the situation in Venezuela, it's awful. They're coming from an extremely impoverished, poor situation, and the living conditions there are deplorable. And so you come here, and guys, I get it. Some of them are saying, they had no clue. And, some people just want the money, the little money that they do have. They tell them lies, probably. Who knows what's going on out there? Nothing good. How you doing, prime time? But they have to cross. It's a treacherous trek crossing Central America, crossing through the jungles, dealing. Some of the videos, some of it's on video where people who are just trying to cross, they're being robbed, women are being raped. It's awful. And some of these people legitimately do want a better life, and then people are taking advantage of other people's misery. It's awful. So again, we're spending multi-millions of dollars on housing, education, feeding, and to be slapped in the face to say, no, this isn't good enough, when you didn't come from it. What you came from was a lot worse. Illegal immigrant advocates in Chicago, this is crazy, comparing Brandon Johnson to Hitler for setting up migrant camps. So tell me what you think about that. And some people are saying, some Chicagoans are just saying, just send them home. Nothing is ever going to be good enough. And folks, that's just how it goes. So tell me what you think in the comment section. It has become an untenable situation. It has. And pretty much, my only concern is, again, Americans first, and then you branch out. But take care of those people who were born. How you doing, Vicky? And the sad thing in the comment section, now some of you know me, some of my subscribers, some of you in the comment section know me personally, some don't. I had people making comments, or you're just angry because blacks aren't getting the freebies are going to someone else. Newsflash, and I always answer my comments respectfully. I've worked all my life, okay? I don't ask the government for anything, but I don't say bad things about people who may run into a rough spot in their life and who may need help. But all I'm saying is help people who've been here, who've actually put into the system. That's my only gripe with the way that everything is just set up. To me, it's just wrong. How you doing? Okay, Rhonda. Vicky says, Rhonda says those types need to be removed. Right, Rhonda? You don't even know me and you stereotyped me. I've worked all my life. And so, as long as I'm able to have my health and strength, I plan to retire from education in about 3 years, and then I'll go off into the next phase of my life. But for people to come in, and I answer, Rhonda, you know me, I always answer respectfully, and I always say, thank you for stopping by the channel. But folks, Don't automatically look, and that's where people go wrong. Don't look at someone's skin color and then make assumptions. You have to get to know people, and that's where we go wrong in this society. How you doing, Veronica? And so people, they're here, they're ungrateful. Some in Chicago, some saying, "Oh, cold, cold, cold." Want to go back to Venezuela? Well, newsflash again. Once you go back, that's it. Some are saying, well, they can't find jobs. The how so it's just a bad situation all the way around. Haley, they need to take their greed back home. Yeah, so again, what you came from was 100 times worse, and then you go to a migrant camp, and because it's not as good, they got spoiled living in the 3, 4, and 5 star hotels. Any of you in the chat section that's ever been able to stay at a 3, 4, or 5 star hotel for free, type it in the comment section. Anytime I go to a hotel, I have to pay. Let me know, okay? Because I want to go. Just let me know. All right. And so again, if you look at these cities who are excuse me, who are uh, 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 they are for the migrants. They already have issues, major economic issues, major education issues, right, Gina? So when nothing's for free, someone is paying for it. That's something I tell my students all the time. Nothing is free. You may not be paying for it, but someone is. And until we get that through our heads, uh, right? James says I did, but I worked there. Okay, James. You know, Alicia says the parents need to be arrested for bringing their kids through the Darien Gap. Yes, the Darien Gap's treacherous. Good point, Alicia. Alicia's done some homework for bringing their kids through the Darien Gap. It's child abuse. Americans would be arrested for doing this to our kids. Yeah. And they use those kids as pawns. That's what started this issue in the beginning. If you guys remember when this first started, they were at first just sending kids. I mean, and there's some god awful things happening out there on the, on those treks that they're taking. Rhonda said, "Did you know these countries are the top 10 wealthiest countries in the world? They have two society systems: the right and the extreme poor. Money spent on weapons, control, and drug. Yeah, those drug cartels. Oh boy, woo, yeah, and they're out there. They're preying on people. Um, right, you could right, Rhonda. You're right. So guys, just think about this. And like I said, I've talked to Fine as Wine. He's coming on the show. He's going out there. I'm thinking about going to either Washington, or I don't know. I don't know if I want to go into New York. Next month when we get out of school for Christmas break, I'm seriously thinking about going to one of these sanctuary cities and live streaming. Type it in the comment section if you'd like for me to do that, because I'm seriously thinking about that. Haley, why do they have so many kids and many are pregnant if they're fleeing their countries? Well, because these people are telling them, if you can just get to America. And then, with the anchor baby situation, if your child is born here, then that makes them a citizen. So, this is what people, are being told. And then some people are using these people as a political pawn. And again, if you guys go and look at the comment section in some of my last few videos talking about this issue, some people are saying, well, they're just coming here. They were told, they were going to get this for free and that for free. And I've even, again, and of course, I always answer respectfully. And some people write comments, derogatory comments. And I'm just, thank you for stopping by the channel, and we may agree to disagree, and that's that. I don't go back and forth with people. Some are requesting. Now, what do you think about this? The ones that don't want to go back to Venezuela, some are requesting tickets to other cities. So again, who's paying for these tickets? Type it in the comment section if you don't know. I don't make this stuff up. And so it's just a sad situation. And then some in Chicago, they're like, it's too bad. And now if Chicago, we all know how bad it is there. I never knew it was as bad as Venezuela. And if you don't know what's going on in Venezuela, check it out. It's terrible. None to call it conspiracy. Taxpayer, right? The taxpayers. And again, I hate to beat a dead horse, but when I look at how much I have to pay in taxes every year, yeah, I get a little angry. Lady Lieber says, I worked 2 jobs until I retired and was never offered to stay in any 4 or 5 star hotel. Right, Lady Lieber? Where is my stay, my free stay at the 4 and 5 star hotels? She said, Lady Lieber said, my children are grown and have their own children. And I still have to pay a school tax in my state. Lady Lieber gets it. She gets it. So again, folks, I had someone make a comment, is this channel is anti migrant? I said, no, sir. This channel is not anti-migrant, but I am pro-American, and I'm sorry, America first. Rhonda says, I can understand both sides. Oh, yes. And I do. I try to understand both sides. I guess me living where I live with a lot, and we live in different places geographically. Where I live here at Pope Air Force Base, Fort Liberty, formerly Fort Bragg, and just seeing some of the struggles that the military people go through and all of the homeless vets that are here, that just touches my heart a bit. Chris says, but why are they complaining about the accommodations? Like, okay, so Chris, I don't know if you were here when I made the statement earlier. When they came here initially, they were in Manhattan in 3 and 4 and 5 star hotels. They were they were bused. They said they weren't told where they were going. They were bused to what was it? Floyd Field. And they got there, the buses pulled up and they said, no, not staying here. They were dropped off, and most of them who left were taken to the train station. So I'm saying all of this movement, someone's having to pay for it, and we know it's the taxpayers. Okay. Vicky Council, I have stayed at 5-star hotels, but you better believe it comes with a price. Yeah, a high price. You have to pay. James Wayne, many say that the Brooklyn shelter is too far from the school. Create a shelter at the school. Okay, that's with James's comment. All right. Reese Cup, I have a problem with the people coming as refugees. Why do they have to come here? I'm not discriminating. All right. And again, what I like about this channel, everyone has their say and we don't hate each other. We come back here on every Sunday and everything is good. Okay. Excellent point, Reese. Haley, I'm pro-legal immigration and very opposed to illegal. Haley, then that's pretty much where I am on this issue. Rhonda says there is a system put in place to oppress deliberate groups of people. Asian hate crime bill passed. No hate crime bill. George Floyd signed. Nothing against Asian, but these are those are what Rhonda's saying is true. Okay. Chris says no one can afford to live in New York but the migrants. Right. Again, I lived in New York years ago. I would never live in New York now. Who could afford it? All right. And I don't have any dependents. It's just me. James says Great Britain's having the same problem, folks. So this isn't a problem that we're experiencing in America alone. So tell me what you think in the comment section. Again, these videos are doing very well. 12 and 13,000 views. And so just know if you leave comments and everything I talk about, you can Google it. And there's also another video that I watched, the Trayvon Martin hoax. And again, guys, I do a lot of reading. I watch a lot of videos. If you want me to do a video on that, type it in the comment section. And again, I'm not someone who listens to one video, reads one book and that's it. No, I research. That's what I do. Natural Africanism. The migrants will not be able to live in New York either. So why are they there? Yeah. And a lot of New Yorkers, Chicagoans, people in other sanctuary cities are complaining about this issue. They're losing their housing, their jobs, and they feel weird because they're like, no one ever did this for us. So to me, that causes divisiveness. And that's one thing we do not need. I wish we could get rid of that in this country. We don't need any more divisiveness. We have enough of it. And folks, if we don't come together, okay, there is no way that we can make it. If we don't come together as a whole, divide and conquer. All right. So that's how I feel about that. None says, especially since they crossed 6 countries to get here. Yeah, and it's treacherous. None, when I'm done with this video, come if you would check up under in the description box, it is a very treacherous path. Chris says no one can. Okay. Agreed, natural. Chris says, did you see what happened in Ireland? They took it to the streets after 3 children stabbed by a migrant at a school. Chris, I did not see that. However, I did see when the illegal immigrants were being kicked out of the 3 and 4 and 5-star hotels. Some of them were arrested for assaulting the police, and they got into fisticuffs. So again, you put people in those types of give them those types of accommodations, they're not going to want to go to a shelter. Are you kidding me? No. Reese said, America loves to give money and businesses love to go to other countries, but can't help these people, so they stay where they are. Reese gets it. That part. All of our companies, a large part of them, went overseas with NAFTA, right? In the 90s. When I grew up in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Okay, Allentown's a city right there beside Bethlehem Steel. Everything went overseas. That makes no sense. Reese gets it. Yes. It's cheaper for them, American companies, to go overseas, right? Build a product and ship it back over here. What's wrong with this picture? Okay. James says, Chris, you're correct. The Irish would not announce the race of the man for fear of trouble. Okay, good. Chris, I don't understand why this is happening everywhere in the world right now, all at the same time. Yeah, and I understand why it's happening in America. The man's name is Soros. He's behind a lot of the issues that's going on here. Most of you, it appears that most of you really know what's really going on behind the scenes. And they're just really trying to destroy this country. That's what they're trying to do. And again, my fear is we don't know who's coming through. We're, prone to another terrorist attack. That's my issue. None says they are rioting in Ireland. Yeah. Andrew, it's not happening in China, is it? Alicia, they were in line first to get free turkeys, but the people who live in the community didn't get turkeys. Where would we cook the turkeys if they're in tents and shelter? Okay, Alicia has a good point. So that's why the people who've been there forever are like, wait a minute. I voted for you and you're taking care of these people. And folks, we know what it's all about. And someone said in the comment section, you can tell me how you feel about this in the comment section. Someone said, Black people don't realize it, but they've been replaced. You're not needed anymore. Tell me what you feel. That's what someone said in the comment section. Tell me what you think about that. How you doing, partner? If you're not subscribed to Chef Finest Wines YouTube channel, please go ahead and do that. That's my partner. He will be on the show. He's going to give us a first-hand account of what's going on there in Chicago because he lives in Chicago. Perfect. Rhonda says the reason it's happening is because the negative has been inspired by hate, which causes innocent people to defend themselves more aggressively. Yeah, when people feel, Rhonda, good point. When people feel, wait a minute, you're taking something that belongs to me, they're going to fight. Perfect, Rhonda. Andrew, they're not trying, they are. Facts. Andrew, facts. Reese Cup, Andrew, probably because they have strict laws on allowing people in, right? Natural Africanism. I feel like the first time they get arrested here in this country, especially if it's an assault, that's it. They should be sent back with no chance to ever come back. That's a good point, Natural. Chris says voting, that is what it's about here. Chris gets it. That's what it's about. It's about votes. And people, from a lot of my reading and videos that I've watched, I'm going to be frank with you. They could care not, they don't care about these people. This is all a political ploy. They do not care about these people. I'm just calling it as I see it. And now if you beg to differ, that's fine. Type it in the comment section. Lady Libra, America's not a trash can. Why are we allowing other countries to dump their problems on us? Lady Libra gets it. Yes. Close the borders, spend the money to send them back. Lady Libra, yes. That's all I'm saying. You have all these millions and billions of dollars to spend on other people, spend it on Americans. That's all I'm saying. We have plenty of homeless people. Where I live here, plenty of homeless people. A lot of them, served in the U.S. Army, Air Force, Marines, Navy. Take care of them first. And I guess that's close to my heart as well. My mother, when she was alive, God rest her soul, she sent money to the Disabled Veterans Fund. So again, that's just close to my heart, folks. And me living here, Pope Air Force Base, Fort Liberty. It's just I'm just close to the military. I am. Rhonda says England, Ireland, Italy, the uprisings with Hitler idealism. So there's a serious there's a lot going on worldwide. Lady Libra. Oh God, I need to pin that comment. Please share this out. Share this video out on your various forms of social media, folks. Thank you so much. Andrew, $102,000 per second is being borrowed to pay interest alone on debt. That part, and like Lady Libra, if you guys are just coming in the chat, read Lady Libra's comment. I'm pinning that. That's what this is all about. Okay? This is about votes, and it's just sad, the levels that some people will go to for a vote. And again, I'm not psychic or anything, but I see right through people. They don't care anything about these people. They don't. But it's for votes. And it is what it is. And Rhonda said, yes, voting is a science, how this country operates. Yeah, they do everything for a vote. And that's it. That's what it is. Okay. And so I didn't want to take up your whole Sunday, but I did want to come because this really angered me when I saw that. When I first saw that they were getting off the bus, when I stopped this live stream, look at the video, and they were like, no, I'm not staying here. You know what I said? Really? Come on. Chris says, in Italy too, did you see the Pope saying to embrace all the immigrants? Why? While he lives in a palace with a huge wall around. Right. So the people telling you to embrace, they're not embracing. Oh my goodness. Chris gets it. James, unfortunately, on election day in New York City, nothing changed. James, what do you think? Maybe with the upcoming election, do you foresee any change there? Because I'm going to be doing a lot of videos on that because I want to see. People are saying they're going to change because of this issue. I want to see if they're really going to put their money where their mouth is. When you start hitting people in their pocketbooks, that's usually when you see change. Okay. Rhonda says it's a form of voter persuasion. Okay. Yeah. And again, it's just for votes. That's all it's about, people. As much as you may not want to admit it, it's all for votes. That's what it is. Nunn says, I have been red for years and I'm back. Okay, Nunn. All right. James says, I doubt New York City will vote differently. James, I'm keeping my eye on all of these sanctuary cities. Thank you, Gina. And like I said, I'm contemplating going to a sanctuary city and live streaming when I'm out on Christmas break next month. And I will have Chef Finest Wine, since he does live there in Chicago. He's coming on the show and he's going to tell you what he's experienced watching as the migrants are living there in the police stations. They're living in O'Hare airport. That's crazy. No. So guys, thank you so much for spending your very valuable time here with the Rollins Reviews YouTube channel. I didn't want to take up your entire Sunday. None says I'm in Detroit, born and raised, and it's snowing and cold. Yeah. So yeah, Rhonda, I would love to see that Rollins Reviews and Chef Finest Wine. Okay, yeah, he's coming on the show. He's going to talk up since he does live there in Chicago. He's going to talk about it from a first-hand point of view. Chris says, James, I think this time it might be different. We will. Yeah, Chris, I do. I think it will be different. And I'm lived in New York. I've lived in Pennsylvania. Okay. Um, Andrew says, when you have long paid for dysfunction, you will pay even more for more dysfunction. Andrew, I hope and pray not, but we'll see. Chris, James, I think this time, okay, this election will be interesting with all the movement that's been going on. James, Chris, nobody voted. I think they're going to come out now and vote. Lady Libra, thank you. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No problem, Lady Libra. All of you gave some very, very important comments. Again, I always thank you because you could be anywhere doing something else. You do not have to be here at the Rollins Reviews YouTube channel. So don't think I take that lightly. If you enjoy this, hit that little thumb, folks, and share this out on your various forms of social media. Get the word out. Here we have intelligent adult conversations about topics that are important. Okay. And we come back the next Sunday. No one's angry with each other. I love it. That's why I love this channel. And I love the age, the demographic of the people who come. And we have intelligent conversations. We don't always agree. That's fine. But we still come back here together. That's what we need in this country. More dialogue. We used to do that, folks. Those of you who are not Generation Xers like I am, we used to talk to people with differing points of view, and we didn't hate each other. Newsflash, you don't have to hate me because you think differently. Different is good. Different is not a bad word. So I hope and pray all of you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. We'll be back here next Sunday at the Rollins Reviews YouTube channel. And any other topics you would like for me to discuss, please type in the comment section, okay? Have an enjoyable week, and I'll see you next